I know a lot of people here will sit here and say, why did the Rangers fire Gerard Gallant? I'm one of them. I didn't understand it. 2 seasons as a Ranger head coach. The first season, he takes them all the way to an Eastern Conference final. The second season, they lose in the first round against a young, fast, hungry New Jersey Devils team. I think where the Rangers are at right now, the talent that they have, the youth that they have on this team, if they bring in Peter Laviolette, they need to bring in rugged players. Laviolette likes to hit. Laviolette likes to play that mean hockey. Finesse players do not work very well in his offensive schemes. Go look at the teams that he's coached. The Hurricanes, they are not a finesse team. They never were. Even now, with Rob Brindamore, they're not considered a finesse team. The Flyers, I don't even have to tell you what the Flyers are. The Predators, we all know what the Predators were, especially when it went to the Stanley Cup Finals. They had great goaltending, great defense, and rugged forwards. Guys that hit, guys that put you through a wall. And then there's the Capitals. I don't even have to tell you who Alexander Ovechkin is.
Rangers fans, we know well who Tom Wilson is as well.
The Rangers will need to add players to this roster if they bring in Peter Laviolette. The best opportunity for the Rangers to win a Stanley Cup is with Peter Laviolette. None of these coaches, Jay Leach, Chris Knobloch, who seems to be having success in the AHL for the Rangers, who cares? And Mike Babcock, forget it. Okay, I don't even want to hear it. We all know Mike Babcock when he was on the Detroit Red Wings. The only reason why he won those Stanley Cups is because of the teams he was coaching. I'm telling you right now, this would be a huge pickup in the offseason for the New York Rangers. Bringing in players and finesse players, it never has worked for the Rangers. And I think the number one target, if they bring in Peter Laviolette to trade this offseason, is Panarin. All the teams he's ever coached, even the Islanders, rugged. They are rugged teams. That's how he coaches. He plays a rugged game. He loves to forecheck. This is his game. He brings in guys that could forecheck and do that kind of rugged type of hockey. And you need speed. He's always had a line that can move up and down the ice with speed and hit you at will. If the Rangers bring in Peter Laviolette, they have to bring in guys that can play in his style of hockey. I think when you look at where the Rangers are, they have to bring in a guy like Peter Laviolette because Gerard Gallant didn't work. Tortorella didn't work. None of these guys have worked. They've brought in a Stanley Cup coach. They brought in coaches that have gone all the way to the Eastern and Western and Stanley Cup finals. It hasn't worked. But Peter Laviolette, everywhere he's gone, he has built a winning culture. And I think if the Rangers bring in Peter Laviolette, he will bring a winning culture to the Rangers. The question is, with him bringing a winning culture, is that enough to bring home a Stanley Cup like they did in 94? That could only be answered by the New York Rangers, the players on the ice. Peter Laviolette is not going to go on the ice and win him the games. That's not what he does. That's not what coaches do. They draw up a scheme and they run the scheme. That's what they do. So I think Peter Laviolette, he's a smart guy. He's a very interesting guy. He's very quiet. If you ever seen him when he does his interviews and stuff like that, he's pretty quick with the answers. He doesn't sit there and give you long answers. He's not Tortorella. Tortorella likes to sit there and give you crazy answers or yelling at you or giving you the finger if he really wants to. I don't see Peter Laviolette doing that. But what I do see is that this guy can absolutely coach. This guy could take the Rangers to that next level. The question is, are the Rangers willing to go out there after bringing in a Peter Laviolette, bringing in guys that would fit the culture on the way he likes to play hockey, and bringing in guys that play his style of hockey?
If they cannot trade Panarin, which, I agree with you that they should explore, especially 2 bad playoffs in a row, but if they can't, they need to get the coaching to get him to at least play some level of defense, and a lot of these other guys
He doesn't play defense, and there's no way of teaching somebody that's never played defense in his career. At 31 years old, he's never played a lick of defense. And now all of a sudden you bring in Peter Laviolette and say, okay, it's time to play defense. That's not going to happen, and the Rangers know that. Zibanejad, that's why I would keep him, because he could play defense. If you push him to do it, he can do everything. He can win faceoffs. He can put the puck in the net. He does everything good. And when the Rangers made the trade with Ottawa a couple of years ago to add Zibanejad, I thought that the Rangers had a piece that can help them go all the way to the Stanley Cup. They have the goaltending. Shesterkin is a guy that could absolutely stand on his head and be a winner in the NHL.